Keir Starmer's leadership of the Labour Party is descending into a nightmarish spectacle, and British families find themselves ensnared in the chaos. Imagine opening your energy bill only to see a staggering increase while Starmer engages in what appears to be political chess, seemingly oblivious to the real-life consequences of his decisions. This isn't merely a case of policy flip-flops anymore. It's a full-blown rebellion from Labour MPs, who are expressing their discontent in unprecedented numbers. Starmer's costly political experiments have turned the British populace into reluctant test subjects, and the fallout is palpable. Labour's disarray is evident, with Starmer at the epicenter. One would expect a party leader to command the unwavering support of his MPs, but instead, they are distancing themselves from him at an alarming rate. Take, for instance, his indecision on the two-child benefit cap. Initially, he supported maintaining it, only to flip and oppose it. His contradictory stance on immigration is equally bewildering. One moment is advocating for strict measures, and the next is adopting a softer approach. The internal strife within the Labour Party is so severe that insiders are describing it as total disarray. Can you visualize the tension in those meetings? It must resemble a reality show, albeit with less glamour and more heated debates over policy. The situation has become so dire that some MPs are contemplating leaving the party altogether. In the past month, a staggering 37 Labour MPs voted against Starmer's proposed policies, a number that dwarfs the dissent seen in the entire previous year combined. An anonymous Labour MP articulated the sentiment perfectly. Starmer's leadership is a disaster. He can't make up his mind on crucial issues, and we're losing touch with our core values. This sentiment resonates deeply, particularly on significant matters that affect people's lives, such as winter fuel payments and child benefits. Starmer's flip-flopping is akin to a political game of Jenga, where every ill-timed move threatens to topple the entire structure. As Starmer grapples with a party in revolt, the left feels increasingly betrayed. Once heralded as Labour's saviour, Starmer has devolved into a figure of disappointment. His 10 pledges, designed to showcase his commitment to Labour's core values, have disintegrated into hollow promises. The left is furious, particularly regarding the two-child cap on child benefits, a policy that feels more aligned with conservative principles than with Labour's traditional advocacy for working families. Unions, once staunch supporters of Starmer, have pivoted to vocal critics, feeling they were misled by someone they believed would champion their cause. This internal strife has opened the door for the opposition to exploit Labour's turmoil. The Conservative Party, the SNP, and even figures like Nigel Farage are seizing upon this disarray, portraying Starmer as weak and ineffective. The Tories are relishing the opportunity to unite against a common enemy, while the SNP is using Labour's troubles to bolster their position in Scotland. Polls indicate a significant shift, with Labour's once stable lead evaporating faster than ice cream on a sunny day. The opposition's message is clear. If Starmer can't reign in his own party, how can he be entrusted to lead the country? Starmer's diplomatic missteps only exacerbate the situation. After calling Donald Trump a bully and a threat to democracy, he now finds himself in the absurd position of needing to cozy up to the very figure he once condemned. This backtracking could have significant ramifications for UK-US relations, as Trump's circle expresses skepticism about Starmer's intentions regarding critical international deals. Starmer's inability to navigate this minefield reflects poorly on Britain's global standing, leaving allies confused and enemies emboldened. Moreover, his indecision on domestic policies is wreaking havoc on the economy. Every time Starmer wavers on nationalizing energy companies or other key economic issues, the repercussions ripple through the market, hitting ordinary citizens where it hurts, right in their wallets. The proposed inheritance tax on farms, for instance, threatens to undermine agricultural investment, which could drive food prices higher. The Cold Chain Federation warns that insufficient recognition of cold storage facilities could lead to severe food shortages, a crisis brewing on the horizon. The human cost of Starmer's erratic leadership is real. Families are struggling under the weight of soaring costs, uncertain futures, and the looming spectre of political chaos. The Johnsons, a typical British family, epitomize the plight of many. They dream of home ownership but find themselves crushed by the burden of rising deposits and stagnant wages. Starmer's fluctuating policies leave parents in a perpetual state of anxiety, questioning whether they can provide for their children. The question must be asked, is this the kind of leadership we want for our nation? Starmer's failure to connect with the very people he claims to represent is not just a political miscalculation, it's a betrayal of the working class and families across Britain. As he plays political chess with his party, the real-world consequences of his indecision and lack of vision leave everyday citizens grappling with uncertainty. In summary, Keir Starmer's time as leader of the Labour Party is characterised by chaos, turmoil, and mismanagement. His inability to unite his party, coupled with a series of policy missteps and diplomatic blunders, has left Britain in a precarious position. If he cannot regain control and provide the decisive leadership needed, Labour risks not only losing its identity but also the trust of the very constituents it seeks to represent. The question looms larger than ever: can Starmer turn this ship around, or is Labour destined for a reckoning? The answer may ultimately determine the future of the party and the welfare of countless British families.